Around the outside goes the Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's caught back into play. Exactly. Miller's still start trouble. He's not on second.
Does he have it? Medeiros is going to get it. Medeiros is going to toss it. They haven't got it.
He's on the outside line though, going into the fastest corner on the circuit. Surely this can't work.
Dominic Ligner has got a sensational run outside line now though for the heavy braking zone. Around the outside goes the Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's caught back into play. Exactly. Miller's still start trouble. He's not on second and change. All of a sudden Miller's back in play.
Can Barry do it? Big Barry's going to do it. Big Barry!
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and Phil. Welcome to the JPB GT4 Championship Season 2, sponsored by Sim Racing Community. Go and check them out down at simracingcommunity.com. Down below in the links in the YouTube description. But we are here for round 8 of Road America. We visited here last night with the UK Sim Racers for the MX5 Championship. We saw some great racing there as well. So I'm going to be expectant that this evening we're going to see just as great racing. 20 cars on track, ready to battle it out here this evening as well. Let's keep you up to date with the standings as always. In the AM standings, Chris Barnes is out in front, but only by 2 points over Mikey Pierce on 386 in second. Danny Weston in third on 356, and then Torno Orometz in fourth on 351. Rob Williams rounds out the top 5 on 322. Then we've got Stuart Rice, Chris Evans, Stefan Mellis, Richard White, Rachel Hoff, Stuart Gibbons, Ryan Taylor, Jason Haddington, and then we've got Damien Hurst and Callum Milam at the bottom. In the team standings, Triple P Racing AMG are out in front on 710, with Triple P Racing AMR in second on 617. Big gap next to Team Zilla and Bonsai there in third and fourth respectively. Triple P A Racing AMC, Air Smart Racing 2 at the bottom. In the pro standings, Richard Simnar is out in front on 357, with Mikey Pollard in second on 335. Stein Veman in third on 305. Deck Crowber in fourth on 248, with Tom Weston in fifth on 225. Then you got Paddy Faulkner, Gavin Petty, Arnold Chagnon, Tim Perry, Ian Manners, Chris Needham, Andy Jones, Adam Hedgecott, Jordan Malcolm, Michael Sill, and T. Gashburn. In the teams, it's AI Race Summaries.com Tracy team out in front on 833. They have literally got a 202 gap over their sister team, the Jesse team, of course, and it's Air Smart Racing in third. Blade Designs fourth, Altitude Esports fifth, Performance Link Esports in sixth, Air Smart Summaries.com Lucy team, then PDR, then 19 MX Raps Racing at the bottom. I am James Parfitt. I'm going to be joined in the booth, not by my good friend, Mr. Alex Goldschmidt, but by the one and only Mr. Zach Sweeney here, who has joined me this evening as a stand-in because Alex is away tonight. So we do have the old swing dog, the old swing puppy here tonight. If he was a dog, I'm sure he would be a Rottweiler. But let's have a chat with him now. Zach Sweeney, welcome in.
Hello, James. Yeah, good evening to you too. I don't quite speak German, so already I'm -1 to Alex, but no, I don't have anything. He does sim racing, he does real life. He's done Formula E. That's probably the big thing as well. That's the only thing I've got going for me. So I'm not really much compared to Alex, but I'm looking forward to it. Of course, we were at Road America not too long ago, obviously last night for the UK sim races, and now we get to do it in some GT4s. Probably the step up, I'd imagine, from the MX-5. So it's a nice little progression from anyone that watches both series. But anyway, yeah, looking forward to, of course, 2 races here tonight. Should definitely be a lot of fun. And yeah, apparently I'm a Rottweiler now as well, which is, it's whatever. I don't even know. I'm just going to have to live with it. This is my career now.
This is it. You have got the nickname and you've got it off JPB, and it was Handsome Stew at the time who gave you it as well. We have just gone into qualifying here, guys, as well, so be prepared. It's going to be an exciting one once more, as these cars are going to be all rumbling out on track together. If you haven't seen already, because you're not in the JPB Discord, where you should be, next season has already been announced. I did plan it today, and we can give you a rundown of what we're going to have here as well. We start the season for round 1 on the 13th of December. We are going to Interlagos for round 1. On round 2, which will be the 20th of December, we're going to Barber Fall Circuit. We're going to take a week off for Christmas, partly because I deserve it, Zach deserves it, and everybody else at JPB who have worked extremely hard this year deserve it as well. So our next one will kick off at round 3 on the 3rd of January at the Gilles Villeneuve Circuit in Canada. Round 4 will be the 10th of January at the Daytona NASCAR Road 2008 circuit. That will be a night race, okay, so there will be a night race as well. Round 5 will be on the 17th of January at Donington GP, with round 6 on the 24th for Fuji GP circuit. Round 7 will be on the 31st of January, and that will take place at Long Beach. Round 8 will be on the 7th of February, and that will be Bathurst. Round 9 will be on the 14th of February. However, that may move, because that is 2 very important days for us men in the world. 1, I've got my son's birthday on Valentine's Day, and 2, as I just said, it is Valentine's Day, so that likely might get moved as well, because otherwise the wife's going to kill me. On the 21st of February, we are off to Rudskogen for round 10, and then on the 28th of February, we finish off the season at Twin Ring GP, which will also be a night race. So we're going to have 2 night races next season, 1 at Daytona NASCAR Road Circuit and 1 at the Twin Ring GP. So if you're not, or you want to get involved, please go and check out Discord links down below. Come and sign up, select a Rolls GT4, and when the announcement gets made, hopefully by Monday, sign-ups will open for next season, so you will be able to come along and get yourselves involved there, Zach. So the new season's been announced already. Some good tracks on there. I like them, but then again, I did pick them as well. A couple of night races thrown into the mix. That's going to be a different prospect, really. But lucky enough for these drivers, I did pick track with lights in Twin Ring and Daytona, so they will have lights to contend with. Here, I didn't send them off to the darkness of Spa.
Well, you could have gone to the Nords, I guess. That would have been a lot worse. The Nords in GT4s in pitch black, by the way, is a lot of fun. Williams Esports will tell you that for free from the Nurburgring 24 hours. They had a lot of fun with GT4s over the course of that race. But anyway, yeah. If you go to a circuit with no lights, you should expect people to drive as if they've got no lights. Let's put it that way. So thankfully, yeah, they are going to have some way to actually see. Night races are fun. Obviously, very picturesque, very aesthetic, which everyone loves. But cooler track temps. They do make things a little bit more tricky. They do make things just a little bit more fun. It's just a little bit different. It switches things up a little bit. Because on iRacing, apart from the fact that you've got a million different cars and tracks to choose from, you don't really have a lot of variance. You've got one track condition, which is dry. You've got it just gets a little bit repetitive, especially if you're doing, you know, one series. Say you're in the GT4s. There's not a lot of things to change it up really, because you don't have like wet races or anything like that. You just sort of do the bog standard thing. That, you know, every race looks the same essentially. So night races is a good little way to mix things up, and I'm sure these guys are going to be looking forward to next season. But how about we get through this season first? That'd be an alright start, and see how they get on here at Road America, because obviously we saw yesterday, James, in the MX-5s, which are a rear-wheel drive sports car, similar to what these guys are doing in the GT4s. Road America is so good when it comes to overtaking. So bring it on.
Yeah, absolutely. I fully agree with you. I think Road America is going to deliver an absolute epic, even in a race, and especially going up that long start-finish straight as well. Handsome Stew, your nickname namesake, is in YouTube chat as well. Good evening, Stu. Hope you are well, as the first times are going to be rolling up very, very shortly. Richard Simnall will be the first one over the line here. What is he going to be able to do and put it on the board? There you go, a 2:15. 15's about 17 seconds quicker than what we saw last night. Stein Veman puts it in second. Mikey Pollard third. Then Michael Seal goes and pops it in fourth. Tom Weston fifth. Mikey Pearce in sixth. Deck Crowther seventh. Stuart Rice 8th, Rachel Hoff in 9th, Paddy Faulkner jumps up into 4th with Chris Evans there as well. Ian Manners, times are coming in thick and fast here once more. The only McLaren on the circuit, and that is Andy Jones in his Harrods liveried machine, which does look absolutely amazing. He's going to be the last one over the line to set a time, I believe, here as well. So we'll keep an eye on what Andy Jones can do in that McLaren. I'm expecting a half-decent time, as he normally goes really well, and he does. Goes on the 2:16.716, whacks it into 4th place. So a stellar job from him. Richard Simnar, Stein Veman and Mikey Pollard are all going quicker than they had done before. But let's pick up on the Performance League Esports of Michael Seal there as well. So let's see what Michael Seal can do in this Merc, as he's coming off here round turn 7 before he goes into turn 8. All good, boys. Fresh off McFly last night. Now watching this sat on a toilet. Lovely.
I respect it. I respect it.
No,
because
really,
it's so peaceful. It's so peaceful. Like, my girlfriend's always, she's like, you know, you take so long. I'm like, well, yeah, because that's our time to chill and to relax. And for good old Stuart Pike, he's chilling on the toilet, and he's watching some GT4s. I respect it. He'll probably be getting some sort of bangs on the door saying, what's taking you so long? But fair play to him. If you want to chill and sit on the toilet, by all means, go for it. Toilet seat's nice and cold, so you can just chill, you can relax. It's all right. So fair play to him.
Yeah, I suppose. Fair play. Fair play, I suppose, on that one. It is the moment when men do get their time, though. It's the moment where I go and escape from my children. I do love my kids, but I have got a house full, so I do use my toilet break as a well-deserved break. So, yeah, I do generally do that. But what's Richard Simnall going to do over the final sector? Any improvements on the 2:15.8, 2:15.7. Stein Veman jumps in on the 2:15.6. Mikey Pollard, 2:15.992. What about Tom Weston? Is he going to improve on his time as well? No improvements there for him or Mikey Pearce or Deck Crowther at the moment. So we'll keep an eye as these times come in. Paddy Faulkner goes on the 2:17.594. Danny Weston, 2:17.461, sitting in 3rd place in the championship at the moment. Let's see whether or not he's going to be able to break into the top 2. It's going to be tough for him, but we'll see what happens here as well. So it's going to be all good, I think. This race is going to be absolutely epic as well. Probably going to be the last lap for most of these guys here. I don't know if, well, Rob Williams is not going to get a lap in, because that definitely is not the way to take that corner as he goes out onto the gravel. That's the final curb and goes and bins it, unfortunately, for Rob Williams. Not an ideal scenario. So could be at the back with one very special Stefan Mellis, who joined late into the series. Chris Barnes is improving a little bit here as well. Barnesy fighting out with Stuart Pearce, Mikey Pearce, sorry, for the AM Championship as well. Zach, that's very close at the top.
Very much is. Looking forward to seeing the final lap times come in. Of course, for those unfamiliar with iRacing, that time at tick 0, session's done. Doesn't matter if you're on the quickest lap time in the world. If you don't cross the line before that hits 0, tough luck. So you really have to time your final lap really well. It's not like GT Sport, it's not like the F1 games where if the checkered flag flies and you can still finish lap. No, 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 no. So make sure you've got your final lap times in as soon as possible. It's why you'll probably see now a couple of drivers, if they've messed up their lap, just abort, or if they're now finishing the lap, they'll just go back to pit lane, even though there is still a little bit of time left on the session. Let's see what Stein Wienmann can do as he runs his way through turn 14, getting a little bit of a whiff of slipstream from his fellow Porsche just ahead. Porsche do seem to be the car of choice with the GT4 machine taking the top 3 spots as it stands on the time. It's out across the line from Wienmann. Is it an improvement? Not quite. Still sat there on a 2:15.6, but Richard Simnor getting ever closer. Unfortunately, not quite close enough to top for pole. Mike Pierce putting in a good lap time, making it an all-Mike second row.
Yeah, it will be as well. It's all about where Barnes going to put his car at the moment. For Chris Barnes, he's got to try and be as close to Mikey Pierce. He gets it into 3rd, 7th overall. Torno Oromets in that BMW is going to come over the line as well. Is there going to be an improvement? No. 2:16.529. His best time, but not enough to take Mikey Pierce here as well. That's going to be the last of the qualifiers. I think there might be one more in Andy Jones if he's just about going to make it here. 2:16.645 for Jones. So let's bring you up at the grid here and see where everybody is for this qualifying. Stein Wienmann puts it on pole in 1st place with Richard Simnor in 2nd. Mike Pollard in 3rd with Mike Pierce leading the AMS and Torno Oromets in the AMS in 2nd place there. Andy Jones in 6th, Chris Barnes 7th, Paddy Faulkner 8th, Michael Seal in 9th, Tom Weston 10th, Stuart Gibbons in 11th with Danny Weston down in 12th. Then you've got Dec Crowther and Ian Manners 13th and 14th with Richard White, Stuart Rice, Rachel Hoff, Chris Evans, Rob Williams and Stefan Mellis round out the field. 15-minute race will set the grid for the feature, which will be 45 with a pit stop. We know how important it is here as well. That very long pit entry, Zach. They've got to nail it right up to them yellow cones. Otherwise, they're going to lose a chunk of time.
Yeah. Otherwise, as you say, yeah, you just bog down, especially that uphill climb. It all depends really on when the leader punches it, but yeah, you've got to be so aware over the course of the first lap in general, to be fair, because Road America is very straight line speed orientated. So if you're caught out by the slipstream and a bad exit, then tough luck basically going into turn 1 because you will get completely and utterly swamped. Yeah.
Well, we have got a pace lap here as well, so we do have a little bit of time, probably a couple of minutes to have a catch up in YouTube. Alan Luff, McLaren, best GT4, he says there as well, and Handsome Stu, he's home alone, so he can sit in the toilet all evening. Do you know what's more concerning there, right? I'm not gonna lie. It could be 2 things. A, the fact that you went and watched Mock Fly last night, who were like a 90s boy band and were somewhat, from my opinion, on the terrible side. Or it's the fact that he's watching us on the toilet. I'm not quite sure which one's worse, to be honest.
Well, you just don't question it. You just leave them to it. I mean, no one questions your happiness, or maybe lack thereof. I don't know whichever
It's a bit
one.
rude. I provided, I gave myself lots. No, hold on, back up, James, back up before you speak on that one.
What?
Nothing.
Anyway, right, formation lap.
I nearly slipped up. I nearly dropped myself in it once more, but I didn't. You know, there's no easy way of saying this, is there? Because you could say I find pleasure in other ways, and then it sounds weird. And then you could say I pleasured myself today, and then that sounds really even more weirder. You know, so there's no good way of sitting here saying let's just put it this way. I did my hobby today. There you go.
Okay. Yeah, nice, right.
It still doesn't sound good, but I know what I mean. You know what I mean? We're on the pace lap on that run down to Marine Sweep down into turn 5. That AI racing team needs a BOP. Oh, man, everybody's equal. And the problem is you can't just BOP one person or 2 people or 3 people or 4 people. The problem is you BOP the car. No, you can't.
You can. It's called success ballast. They do it in British GT.
Yeah, but they don't do it in iRacing. You either ballast the car, which then punishes everyone, or you don't ballast it at all. I have not seen a single driver option, and I've been told by multiple people it's just not possible. It's either the car, which means everybody that uses the Porsche then gets done with it, or you can't do it at all. So it's... Yeah. And Handsome Shoe, yes, that does make it weirder. The fact that he said he's just showered to our voices.
Yeah, right.
Do you know that there are times in your life where you decide which path you want to go on, right? And we decided a long time ago that we were going to go as a serious broadcaster and, you know, bump up our reputation. And it seems very hard with the viewers that we get in YouTube. I'm not saying I don't love the viewers that we get in YouTube, because obviously, you know, you guys make the broadcast and everything else. But I think it popped up last night that you know, the fact that we interact with them. And there are some times when you read a message, you actually should probably read it in your head first before you read it out. You know, and that's probably one of them times, Stu. I'm not going to lie. True, the only way I've seen it done is by adding fuel.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose,
weight in it.
Yeah, well, I suppose you could do that, but
it's hard to regulate.
Yeah, because you've got to send. The problem is we're using a fixed setup, so you would have to send them a separate setup with more fuel in, and that, to be honest, just Alan, it just seems a whole load of grief. Sure, now it's our fault. No, I'm not saying it's your fault. I'm just saying that. Oh, I don't know what I'm saying. Do you know what I mean? We could be sitting here and just ignore you all. You know what I mean? So, but we don't, because we love our interaction. Right, let's get on. Anyway, let's get this race going before I really dig myself a hole here. What is Richard Simnar going to do this time? He's got no chicane to save him this time, which is what he normally does, but he has gone already. And you can see AI race summaries have got the jump with him here once more with Mikey Pollard, Stein Veman and Mike Pierce all behind with Richard Simnar in there as well. Everybody, all of these cars rushing down into turn 1. Stein Veman leads it late on. Richard Simnar there nearly lost his nose. How's it going on with all of the AMs as well? Rachel Hobbs through, Ian Manners, Stuart Rice, Chris Evans, Stephen Mellis and Rob Williams have all made it through successfully. But this is the run for the first time here, Zach. We're on that way down the Marine Sweep, down into turn 5. And the only one that's looking menacing at the moment is Mikey Pollard.
Let's have a look. Going into turn number 5 as it is officially on the track map. Downhill braking zone, of course. There's the McLaren of Andy Jones looking to go to the inside, but the move for second. Mike Pollard goes for the move, but he's not quite been able to make it stick. Richard Simnar just with a nose ahead as they rise up over the hill towards turn number 6 now. The inside line goes the way of Simnar, who is able to stay ahead for now. Pollard and Pierce very close together in 3rd and 4th. So everyone keeping each other company. Andy Jones not quite able to move his way and break that Porsche top 4. But he looks menacing in that McLaren 570S, which, to be fair, my favourite GT4 on this grid. So let's see what he can do.
Yeah, I love that as well. The GT3 version is absolutely amazing. I love the flames out the back of the GT3. It just reminds me of s'mores hanging out the window with marshmallows there as well as Andy Jones goes off around the carousel. Torno ornaments. Oh, Chris Evans has been off the side of the circuit here once more. What have you been up to? Was he helped round? He wasn't. That was all on his own. What about Rachel Hoff? What has she been up to as well around that carousel? Too many beans on the pedal there as well. Unfortunately, Mikey Pollard has been off the side of the circuit. This was all in the last few seconds as he runs down through the grass. We know it's going to hold him up here as well. But now Andy Jones on the back of Mikey Pierce with Mike Pollard has survived, stayed in front. There on the inside is Paddy Faulkner. He's just gone past Chris Barnes. Barnes is trying to get up to the back end of Pierce. Ornaments again. Too many beans, dear sir. Too many beans. And around he goes. Now Paddy Faulkner's under attack from Chris Barnes as they come down this long straightaway over the line. They're going to be 12.5 minutes to go. We are on race 1. Faulkner's on the left. Andy Jones is making a move on Pierce as well. He's got through. What about Paddy Faulkner? He's battling away with Chris Barnes round turn 1 as well. Let's it run wide. Barnes has got to check up here as well, but here comes Michael Seal. He's going to have a go on the inside of turn 3. Is Sealy. Oh, he's nudged Faulkner. Faulkner's gone round. Oh, poor Paddy Faulkner. Went round with a little bit of nudge of Michael Seal there, and that looked, you know, a different kind of move, but not an ideal scenario.
Definitely not. Poor Paddy Faulkner. The 2 times I've seen him race GT4s, and both times it's just not gone well for him at all. I was trying to mind, I recognised him in a different series in GT4s, and I was like, oh, go on, mate. You know, it's nice to see your name in there. I wish you well. He crashed in like the opening lap of the Hockenheimring, and now Paddy Faulkner's just also had more issues and is down in 16th place in this race. Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm just a shadow over him, and every time he steps into a GT4 car when I'm in the commentary booth, he just doesn't do very well. Who knows? There's still race 2 to come, of course, for Faulkner, and he's got a lot of pace. So, of course, time will tell what he can do going forward. But, well, we focus our attention towards the mid-pack. Chris Barnes on the back of Tom Weston. This is the fight for 7th, and as you can see, Weston has got Barnes, the other Weston of Danny, and then Derek Crowther as well to make it a 4-car train now in the fight for 7th. The Porsche does seem to be quite quick around Road America, but also that Mercedes quite menacing in the rearview mirror.
Yeah, it definitely is there. The interesting thing for this one is Tom Weston is the brother of Danny, so he could do Danny a bit of a favour here, because Danny's trying to fight with Chris Barnes in the championship. So Tom Weston can hold him up a little bit more. Danny might be able to have a go at him here as well. Obviously, Tom's trying to run his own race. He's got Michael Seal in front of him once more as they're coming onto that long straight. Here comes Danny Weston. He's going to have a go. Here's Zach, I think. He's going to try and get past. Chris Barnes has made it over Tom. What is Danny going to do? Is he going to get past his brother here as well? His brother sends him to the outside. Now he sends him to the inside. Here comes Danny Weston over Tom Weston. If they make contact, I'd hate to be at the Westons for Christmas dinner, but I think they're going to manage to hold on. Danny's probably praying that Tom moves out of the way so he can go and get a hold of Barnes, who he is battling in the championship. Stuart Gibbons fighting out with Ian Manners further down the order here and coming into turn 3. Ian Manners there in that beautiful Blade Designs livery car with Stuart Gibbons. Manners in the AI race summaries, and you got Richard White sitting in 4th in the championship at the moment in the class here today as well, battling it out. But let's see if Danny Weston can hold on from last season's champion Derek Crowther in the AMs. He got promoted to pros this time, did pick a car at the beginning, then changed to his BMW because he's trusted BMW he does love, but at the moment it's difficult for him to clear Danny Weston, Tom Weston, and get anywhere near Chris Barnes. It's going to be difficult for these guys. Danny Weston, for the AM Championship, he's got to get past his brother. But how do you say to your brother, here, son, get out of the way?
Tell him exactly that. You say that, I'm going to smash your Xbox. I don't know. That's what I'd do to my brother
well,
anyway.
I think they're a little bit older than Xbox, mate. You know what I mean?
Never too old for an Xbox.
No, I'm not saying they're too old. I'm just saying they're a little bit older than an Xbox. I think they're probably PS5s at this point. And obviously driving simulators.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Yeah, well, whatever. Maybe they're Nintendo Switch. Maybe they still play Wii Sports. You never know. But anyway, yeah, it would definitely be with passive-aggressive threats. As there goes the move from the Mercedes. There's Danny Weston moving his way past his brother of Tom, but I don't think really puts up too much of a fight. But imagine being sat around the dinner table as, oh my goodness me, no way. I was about to say, imagine being on the Western dinner table, being overtaken as a pro by your brother who's in an AM class, and then imagine being the one that takes him out. Oh, to be fair though,
no.
Was it Danny?
You saying Danny didn't tighten it up enough?
I think so. I think he's just gone, oh, in a bit, mate.
Oh, no.
He's done well to keep it out of the wall, though. I will give him that. They both did well to not make that end worse.
Oh, the Western dinner is going to be difficult here as well. Richard Simner in that number 1 machine is, in a 21 machine, sorry, is going past and having a battle side by side with Steinbeam, and this is allowing Mikey Pollard to close up as well, as these guys all from the same team, or sister teams, or in sponsored teams, I should say, for the AI Race Summaries.com. Here we've got Tracy and Jesse having a scrap at the front, and let's see how these guys go. With Simnar in the inside, Veeman on the outside. Simmar's pushed him wide. Oh, Mikey Pollard almost had an interaction with Stein Veeman there as well. There was contact, definitely was contact, and the first rule of racing kind of went out the window there, Zach, as they did end up taking each other out. Oh no.
Oh, good. Right. Similar to brotherly love, there's also teammate love, because you do sort of form brotherships and things. Yeah. Yeah, these guys are going to have one hell of a debrief, let's put it that way. What it has meant is that Andy Jones has just been like, cheers, boys. Let's have a look. Obviously, Veenman on the outside. That was so avoidable. So incredibly... There was enough space for both of them. Just for whatever reason, they came together. I don't know why. There was no need to carry that risk, and all it's done is chuck both of them firmly out of contention. That is dreadful. But again, there's race 2 on offer, which is of course 3 times as long as race 1, and you can score obviously more points for that one. But it's still not great. So, especially when it's your teammate, the people you should trust.
Well, to be fair, we've had brothers in the Westerns go at it. Take each other up. We've had the teammates take each other up. So what is there left for us to achieve, really, during this race? Apart from...
Us? Can we just, like,
no, we cannot.
Have a little scrap?
No. Partly because I'd probably get done for beating up a minor. But Danny Weston still on the back of Ian Manners. Manners still on the back of Richard White, and he is closing in. It's a very interesting Merc battle here with Tom Weston in that Porsche further back, trying to catch up to his brother, of course, after they've just had that little ta-ta-ta down at turn 12. So let's see what happens in this freeway Merc battle here once more, and who's going to come out on top here, Zach? What do we think? At the moment, Weston needs to clear Richard White, but Richard White is obviously ahead of him currently at the moment. So it's going to be a little bit more difficult for him to clear Richard White when he's got Ian Manners in there as well.
Yeah, exactly. And of course, with slipstream being so prevalent around this circuit, it just makes things that much more difficult. So you do have to be incredibly vigilant and aware of your surroundings. I mean, anyone that caught the UK sim races last night found out that if you lack awareness, you will reap the consequences. So you've just got to be looking around all the time, making sure that you're covering your bases, defending where you need to defend, accelerating when you need to accelerate, and also maybe just trying to attack. However, Stein Veeman attacking in full force through the carousel, trying to pick his way past on Andy Jones. No way through for now, as the Porsche has to sit behind. Andy Jones, again, I have to say, his pace has been decent. It's not been the best. I mean, as it stands, I mean, his fastest lap time is 1.5 seconds slower than Richard Simnor out in front. But he's been consistent, he's been clean, he's kept his nose out of trouble, and as soon as something happens, he's on it. And he's been able to move his way into second and is hanging on really nicely from Veenman.
Yeah, I think that's the thing with Andy Jones. He's just put it in the right place. He's there in the right time at the right place, and that's the thing for him as well. Tom Weston is into the pits. What's happening with Stuart Rice, Paddy Faulkner, and Stu Gibbons? They're almost nose to tail as well. Gibbons there once more, sitting in that Mercedes, looking back at that looming Aston Martin of Paddy Faulkner, with Stuart Rice in the other Aston Martin there as well. Danny Weston's off in the gravel. Danny Weston has not done himself any... Oh, no. Oh, no.
Let's have a look.
Oh,
through the king.
Gibbo. Oh,
wow, that's awkward. You've just faced the person you took out.
that's Mikey Pollard, unfortunately, for Tom Weston. And there's Danny Weston and Richard White coming together down in the last corner. So it's all getting a little bit ta-ta-ta as Andy Jones and Stein Veerman still going at it here as well.
Yeah, let's see who's going to be the one to come out on top in this particular affair. You can see defensive goes the McLaren 570S, under brakes into turn 5, and you could see how much earlier the Dutchman was braking, trying to get a good exit coming off this corner to now give him this run potentially into 6, but not quite materialising on that occasion. You can now see getting closed in. Actually, no, they've just lapsed. That is sorry, that is for that is for position just in behind them. Sorry, I completely don't know what's going on with me whatsoever. But yeah, that is the AM leader of Mike Pierce, I should say. Yeah, absolutely, who is closing on to them. So let's see how sort of he gets himself involved in this battle, if at all. Of course, leading the way in the AMs might just want to sit behind, might just be happy to sit behind this battle and watch it unfold. But for now, I have to say that fair play to Andy Jones, because he's putting up one hell of a defence in a car that potentially could arguably be slower.
Yeah. The thing is, I'm more open to the fact that it's Andy Jones here. He does an absolute stellar job in that McLaren, and he's just, Stein Veerman gave him a little love tap there off the side of the circuit. I'm not going to lie, there was contact from Stein Veerman over Andy Jones. That's put Andy Jones into the clutches of Michael Seal and Chris Barnes further back. We've got Stuart Gibbons here allowing what looks like Stuart Rice, Paddy Faulkner, Richard White to go through. Whether or not he's slowing down here, I'm not too sure if he is slowing down and trying to let Danny Weston through, but that's a long way back. But Stein Veerman now under attack by Mike Pierce in that category. Final lap of the race. Barney is waving once more. Richard Simnott out in front by 6.5 seconds. He's avoided all of the chaos here, Zach. He's gone about doing his job. He's done a stellar job, kept it clean, took the lead, and has gone on his bike.
He has, yeah, and he's just been like, all right, he's just out there on a nice Wednesday evening drive, nice and chill, nice and relaxed, and yeah, fair play to him. It's exactly how you want this race to go, right? Is not being under pressure from anyone. I mean, it's the most boring race because as a driver, you do essentially, you can get quite bored. But it's the best case scenario. It's the race that you do not want the commentators to look at you, because either you're doing really well or you're doing really bad. Fortunately for Simnar, it's been really good on that side of the spectrum, and he's just been on fire. So fair play to him. Also, we've got a little bit of a battle continuing here. Stein Veerman, Mike Pierce being able to move his way back past Andy Jones. So both of the Porsches passed, and with about half a lap left to go, well, let's see if Michael Seal and Chris Barnes can potentially get themselves involved.
Yeah, Andy Jones obviously got that little love tap from Stein Veerman down in turn 12, sent him wide. That allowed the guys to come through, but now Michael Seal's having a good old go with Chris Barnes. Barnes needs to keep it close to Michael Seal. Again, separate score sheets to the pros, so if the AMs score 25, the pros will score 25, and it will be exactly the same. So they do need to keep it nice and consistent here as they're going in, and Barnes does need to stay as close as possible to Mike Pierce. He's sitting second at the moment, so it'll be a good job for him. Simnor's coming around turn 13A before he goes around the final corner, and we will pick him up as he goes over the line. What's Michael Seal going to do with Andy Jones here as they're coming round 13? Jones runs wide, but it is all about this man. Richard Simnar's going to take that win. He is going to take it by 7.5 seconds. Then you're going to get Stein Veerman. The winner of the AMs will be Mikey Pierce behind him, but we've got this Chris Barnes run up to the line here as well. Is he going to be able to get Michael Seal at the line? He's not. It is going to be Michael Seal. What about Paddy Faulkner? Is he going to be able to get Richard White on that run to the line as well? Faulkner's got about 100 metres, 50 metres, 20, 10, 0, and he doesn't make it through over Richard White there as well. So a nice little ending there, as Zach, as we were expecting here in the first race.
Yep. Not bad. And of course, with race 2 coming up and a pit stop in the mix, there should be a lot of fun to come over the course of the next 45 minutes. So yeah, race 1 done, dusted, out the way. A lot of ups, a lot of downs, and well, just bring on race 2.
Well, Guys, this is going to be race 2, but let's bring you up the results from race 1 first. And here we go. This is it. Okay, come on. There we go. Richard Simnar is your winner. Stein Veman in second. Then you've got Mike Pierce taking the AM win with Andy Jones finishing off at the podium for the pros. Then you've got Michael Seal, Chris Barnes in second. He did what he had to do. He stayed as close to Mike Pierce as possible. Deck Carver in 7th. Ian Manners in 8th. And Richard White there doing a stellar job rounding out the final podium positions for the AM. Then you've got Stuart Rice, Stuart Gibbons, Danny Weston, Rob Williams, Chris Evans, Stephen Mellis, and Rachel Hoff. And then at the back you've got Torno Orametz, Mike Pollard and Tom Weston. There will be your last ones on this grid. 45 minutes with a pit stop now, Zach. Different story altogether here at the moment.
Yeah, a lot more thought needs to go into this race, but also does open the door for a lot of opportunity. Obviously with it, not being a huge strategy difference, there's not going to be too much variation, but it can still change the tide of the race. I mean, even something as small as stopping for the pit limiter, getting into your pit box, turning the pit limit back off again, those are things that can add up and could, amount to a second and a half, 2 seconds, which will make or break a race. So maybe not necessarily the strategy itself is going to make a huge difference. I mean, maybe it could. If you come in a lap earlier and get yourself out of traffic and have a clean lap, then maybe you could have a second and a half, 2 second undercut in of itself. So timing, of course, is going to be pivotal. But in terms of strategy variance, we're probably not going to see too much, I wouldn't imagine. But as I said, there's small trivial things that will add up and will make a difference. So if you can nail them, then you could be in for a good race. But also with pit stops aside, we're into a race that is 3 times as long as race number 1. And yeah, it is still only 45 minutes, but compared to race 1, it is the endurance side of the evening. So you've got to be consistent, you've got to be patient, and you've got to let the race come to you. But also, I suppose, you can't wait around for too long. You've got to have a very good balance of both consistency and urgency.
Yeah, absolutely. Fully agree with you there, sir, as well. And we have seen the Richard Simnar nail pit stops. We've seen Stein Veman doing it in Zandvoort as well. It's going to be an exciting one here, I think, partly because is anybody going to stop Simnar here? He is currently on 2 victories in round 5, 2 victories in round 6, 2 victories in round 7, and the first victory here in round 8. So this man is on a current 7-win streak here as well. Can anybody stop him in this feature race? Richard Simnar looks untouchable at the moment, Zach. I'm not going to lie. He is looking like he's running away with the championship.
Yeah, he is so quick. I mean, his lap times in race 1 were, what was it, 15.3 he did compared to the rest of the field, which is sort of at best in the 16. So he is ridiculously quick. Obviously, this race he has to be careful and be consistent and things. But raw pace, I mean, no one came close in race 1. His consistency, he didn't make a mistake. He didn't fault at all. He's just on top at the moment. People need to essentially just get better.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. We know the practice, the race summaries guys can put in. We talk about it. They chuck up practice sessions. They go and do it continuously. So all that hard work that they do is paying off here. I'm really not doing myself any favours this evening. I'm not going to lie. Well, you know what I mean? Oh, Sween Bunny. It's getting worse for you.
Another one.
It really is getting worse for you, isn't it?
No, because
Sween Dog, Sween Puppy, Sween Bunny. What's going to be next?
Once things are on the internet, they don't leave.
Well,
and
what am I supposed to do? You know what I mean? You do it to yourself, James. This is true. I really need a filter, Stu. I really need to think before I speak. And I think that's the problem. I don't have that filter that says, James, stop talking. You know, I get it's the passion in me, Stu. It comes out when I'm talking of racing. You know, I think I even said somebody's going to get hung out like dirty undies last night, if I remember correctly.
Yep.
Yeah, all right. Let's not remind me.
What? Just agreed. You brought it up.
Right, here's the grid for race 2. Anyway, Richard Simnott on pole with Stein Beeman in second. Mikey Pierce in third. Then Andy Jones and Michael Sill will round out the top 5. Chris Bounds there in 6th. Dick Carver in 7th. Ian Manners in 8th with Richard White in 9th. Paddy Faulkner in 10th. Stu Rice in 11th with Stu Gibbons down in 12th. Then you've got Danny Weston, Rob Williams 13th and 14th. Chris Evans 15th, Stephen Millis 16th, Rachel Hoff 17th, Torno Remet down in 18th with Tom Weston 19th, and Mikey Pollard down in 20th. Shout to Weston, Williams as well. He started literally bolt last in the last race and moved himself up into 14th now. So great job from him there as well. Sweeney, nice. I like that one. Oh, did you cut your knee today at work?
Yeah, I did actually. Yeah, I was rushing. I was doing some plates, and well, I'll tell you when the race gets boring because actually no, they got formation up.
They got formation up. How do you you said you were doing some plates? How do you cut your knee doing the washing up?
No, license plates, number plates.
Oh, okay. Well, say that then.
I was whacking them onto a good old new Corsa. Grabbed my screwdriver out of my toolbox. Went to turn around and go and put them on, and there was a transmission jack that someone had placed right in front of my toolbox. And as I turned to go, I then hit my knee because obviously transmission jacks they go up and down to lift stuff up. Obviously, so there's a pedal that you press. This massive, beefy pedal that's sticking out and obviously made of metal. So I turned around, went to walk, bang, and honestly, it hurt. And I just stood there. I just stood there for a second. I just inhaled, I exhaled. I said to myself, that hurt, obviously with a word in between them, and then just carried on. And then it wasn't until later on that I looked and I was like, oh, cut my knee. And then my girlfriend was like, have you cleaned it? And I was like, no. And she literally just said, go. And I was like, all right, come on. And I honestly didn't think it was that big of a deal, but apparently it was. So yeah, Sweeney very much is quite prevalent. I do like my stories because it's the small things and I ramble on about them. But anyway, yeah, how else would we kill time on a formation lap?
Exactly, and I did see a video today of a guy changing a tyre with a crowbar. He was trying to do a lorry tyre.
Oh, I saw the same one.
And he was standing on it. And then slipped and the crowbar went into a rather uncomfortable place. As well. I did forget about that, Phil, as well. Yes, but Zach said someone was going to wee last night, so we were both at it last night, Mr. Sweeney. I'd like to point out as well. So it wasn't just me. It's not like I can deny it, Zach. It's on YouTube. You know what I mean? It's there forever. So. It's not like I can deny anything of what we say or any analogies or puns or anything we come up with because, well, they're there, aren't they? They're on video for you all to see. So if you did miss the UK sim races here at Road America, it was an amazing race as well. I must be honest. You should definitely go and check that out and listen to the fact that both me and Zach did drop ourselves in it. So there we go.
Beautiful. Well, yeah.
Did I call him Jack?
Yeah.
No, I did not call you Jack. Did I?
I don't know. Did you? I don't. What you say.
No, we know. We noticed that.
Cheers.
You know what I mean? Mr. Zach Sweeney. Yes. Hold on a minute, handsome Stu, right? I'm not going to lie. You come in and you started this swing dog thing. You know what I mean? If I remember correctly, Handsome Stu started the swing dog bit, right? He came in and was like, swing dog, and it kind of stuck from there. So technically, it's your fault. It was the transmission comment. You missed it. Oh, all right. I probably weren't listening to him. I've heard his story so many times, I was probably like half asleep. So.
Should start a little audiobook, shouldn't I?
Yeah, you should. Yeah, well, I'll play it to my daughter to put her into bed. You can,
a bedtime story.
Yeah, you can read her a bedtime story. To be fair, she's not much younger than you. She's only 6.
Oh yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I'm 7.5. So.
Yeah, we know that as well. Guilty. Yes, you are guilty, Handsome Stu. So while you're there telling us about it as well, you're the one who got me to design a T-shirt, for God's sake. Right, here we go. Underway for this 45 minutes with a pit stop, and Simnas decided he's going to go. Oh, no! He went, but Steinveman got pushed off by Mikey Pierce coming around the final corner. Pierce went to go on the inside, and now the lights are on. Barney's waving, it's green, 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 and for Steinveman it's down 10 before anybody's even gone over the line. My fear is now, is everybody that passed Steinveman going to get a penalty for overtaking before the line?
No, because he was off the track, surely.
I can't answer that question. As far as I was aware, you were not allowed to overtake before the start-finish line, right?
Yeah, but if they're off the track or going slowly, you're allowed to, I think.
Okay, well, we'll keep an eye out and see who ends up in the pits, if there is any here as well. Chris Barnes running side by side with Mikey Steele as well. He has just lost that position as Barnesy, and now Steele is going to go through. That's Steele in third with Jones in second in the pros, with Mikey Pierce in the AMs, leading the AMs here. Torno Oromets is off the side as well. Unfortunately, he's dropped down a position. Stefan Mellis and Rob Williams still managing to hold on to where he is, but this man is gonna be gutted. This mistake, this is the problem. This mistake happened before the green flag. It happened before the green flag. So are they gonna get punished because they all overtook before the green flag?
I think if you overtake them because they're off the track, then it lets you off. Otherwise, that is stupid. I basically, I don't think iRacing expects people to have skill issues before the race has even started, so much so that it doesn't really, might not even have any contingency plans in place for that.
Yes.
But, yeah.
Normally I'd write down what lap we were on, but I've just put lap 0 because we hadn't even gone anywhere. But Chris Barnes battling away with Mikey Seal. If anybody's got any ideas how that will work and whether or not anyone's going to get a penalty for overtaking Steinveman before he actually crossed the line and got the green flag, because the green flag was after that incident. So we'll keep an eye on it here and just see if we can get clarification. Danny Weston, I've seen this in the last race. Oh, it nearly ended up the same way. Danny Weston and Richard White there as well. There comes Steinveman. He's trying to get through these battling AMs as well. Chris Barnes is into the pits. Oh no, Barnesy's in the pits. He's gone in on his own there as well as Chris Barnes. Rob Williams fighting out side by side with Chris Evans. Behind that is Stefan Mellis and Mike Pollard. Pollard's trying to battle his way through. Williams trying to run that outside line with Evans on the inside. He does make it through. Pollard's gone up 5 places from the back of the field once more. Mike Pierce is sitting in 3rd place here. But it's all going off down in this midsection. Tom Weston is even fighting out with Rachel Hoff here further down. And there is battles all across this circuit with Mike Pierce, Mike Seal. Andy Jones has got past Piercy and is now on that run down into turn 5.
Yeah, and now let's have a look if there's going to be any changes. A little bit wide, of course, and well, there we go. That could be the move that he sees him up ahead of him going into turn 6, and well, there we go. Nicely done from Michael Seal up down into 3rd place. A small mistake from Mike Pierce. So many Mikes on this grid. Well, 3, but that's a lot.
That's more than normal. I agree with you.
It's like that Phineas and Ferb where it's like Dr. Doofenshmirtz says, if I had a nickel for every time it happened, I'd only have 2 nickels, but it's weird that it happened twice. But obviously in this case 3, and it's not nickels, it's Michaels, but you get the point. Anyway, Michael Seal is, of course, picks his way into 3rd place, and is not a million miles away from Andy Jones, who, by the way, has quietly put himself into 2nd place. He just does it. I don't know. He's there.
He is there. Paddy Faulkner is here as well. He's 6th in class, 7th overall. Chris Barnes, what went on here with you, dear sir? Did you struggle? Did you jump? What was the situation? That's what I'm most interested in as well. Now, this is going to be a battle because Okay, well, that cancelled out that one. Williams really needed to defend against sort of Ormets there. Like, these are the battling for third place in the championship. He needs to fight. Now Stefan Mellis has just gone full bore bonsai on Williams and has gone past him here as well. Here comes Tom Weston. Williams needs to get his elbows out. Come on, son. Get on that defensive line. You're just being pushed around like a poor kid who's being bullied at school at the moment. Your lunch is gone and your shoelaces and your trainers are hanging on a telephone wire. But poor old Rob Williams there, he's just being bullied like a trooper. Stuart Rachel Hoff comes over to block off Tom Weston as well. You've got to give him room on the outside though, Rachel, I'm afraid. There, Weston! Ceremoniously just gave Hoff a little bit of a tap. I think that's probably moving in the braking zone might have caused that one. As Danny Weston and Stuart Gibbons battling it out on that run down into turn 5. Not really an ideal scenario there either. Don't move in the braking zone, it's going to cause you problems. And I think Rachel Hoff kind of found that out going into turn 3 there as Weston nearly just put her in the into the gravel.
Just ask Edward Parfitt as to why you shouldn't move under brakes, and he'll very swiftly tell you why. He, of course, learned that lesson the hard way, as we all do. Mike Pollard on the inside of Stuart Rice, up now into 12th place. You can see just in the background of shot, and the Porsche picks his way through, of course, after being taken up by his teammate in race 1. Has found himself up 8 places already in the opening 6 of race 2. He finds his way past Stuart Rice, of course, is in that Aston Martin. Now behind, of course, Christopher Evans just in behind him as well, battling over what is 5th place in the AMS, well, still a long race to go. There's still 39 minutes, so plenty of time to see what Mike Pollard can do and how far up the grid that he can get. Yeah,
definitely. I'm very excited to see how that one turns out. We've got Dec Crowber. He's coming under pressure from Ian Manners and trying to put Mike Pierce under pressure here as well. Faulkner's in the mix with Gibbons back there further on as well. Beeman's trying to make his way back through. Mike Pollard and Stu Rice are nearly nose to tail with Richard White in the mix once more as well. I think Mike Pollard's just gone through. White round wide in Canada corner. That's allowed Pollard to come through. It's either that or Richard White thought, well, you're not really my fight, so I'm going to let you go. Tom Weston and Rob Williams here. Weston's on the inside going around 13A into 14 they come. Williams in that Merc on the left-hand side there. Weston in the Porsche here as well. Williams opens up the steering. That gives Weston something to think about. This is going to be a straight drag. Ian Manners, Paddy Faulkner and Andy Jones are all in the pits here. I am severely worried whether or not everybody got a black flag on that. I'm not going to lie, because that would put you about... That's very early. That is well early for them, and I'm wondering if they have there as well. Why are they splashing, dashing and coming out? I don't understand that.
Well, because if they do it now, they're spending less time stationary in the pit stop, aren't they?
But they've got to stop again. They've only got 50% fuel here, mate.
Right, and GT4s can go an hour.
No, they can't. 50% fuel takes them to about between 15 and 20 minutes left in the race. They're only 9 minutes in. They are not going to make that.
Oh, well, maybe they had to use a fast repair?
I don't really know, but we'll find out here as well as Mike Sill and Mike Pitts battle away quite nicely currently at the moment as they're going up into turns 8. They've got 9. Oh, Sealy's gone round in that Merc. Oh, Michael Sill. The top part of turn 8 on lap 3 has gone round, and they've only been going 9 minutes. Them pit stops, I do not believe, are going to get them people to the end. Rob Williams has also had a moment as well. Was this with Tom Weston? As these guys are coming down that straight now. What did Williams get up to? Oh, he's dived Weston. Then he goes off the side of the circuit. What happened to Tom Weston further up as well? I believe Tom Weston may have also had an issue coming into turn 6. Did he spin it all on his own? Oh, what happened to Weston? What happened to Tom Weston? Oh, not an ideal scenario. Weston has jumped into the pits here as well. Stuart Gibbons is trying to break away from Danny Weston. Weston is tucked up right behind him. He's doing a stellar job at the moment. He is still there. And White, his brother, languishes in the pits. Danny is off and running, trying to have a go at Stu Gibbons. This is the battle for that second place in the AM Championship. Danny Weston needs it. Gibbo needs it. Who's going to get it as these two Mercs go gruffing down the start-finish line? Into turn one they go. Weston's tucked up right behind him as well. It's got to be a move down at that moraine, down into turn 5. There's Zach, surely from Danny Weston.
You'd think. Obviously it is going to be tough because you've got to get that exit of turn 3. That's the most important thing. Has he done that? We'll wait and see. Of course, he's tucked up in the slipstream. The other thing is that he might be too close because obviously you can't then benefit too much from the slipstream, but I think I'm going to be silenced here. He pulls out to the left-hand side. He's later on the brakes, but he's got to get the job done. He's got to get the car stopped. There's the up and under. Oh my goodness me. Slicing across the front of Mike Pollard, who himself might be able to look to the inside of Stuart Gibbons. Not quite into 6, but nicely done from Danny Weston.
Yeah, Gibbo's on the grass as well. That's going to allow Pollard to come through, surely it is. What about Richard White? Is he going to be able to clear Stuart Gibbons? Not this time around. White's got his own problems. He's got the Aston Martin of Evans and the Aston Martin of Rice pushing right up behind him. Oh, Richard White's made his own error going into turn 8. That's 2 places down for Richard White, and unfortunately for him, it's job done. Danny Weston now with Mike Pollard tucked up right behind him as well. If Weston's smart here, this could just be a move over and allow Pollard through, I think. There's no reason. He is trying to get hold of Pierce, but Pierce is a little bit further up the road. I'm not going to lie here, Zach. Pierce is about 4.5 seconds up the road from Weston. So would you make the choice to move over, or would you make the choice to now try to fight for your position? But he has got a very fast Mike Pollard behind him.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Mike Pollard is going to be too interested in staying behind for too long. With how prevalent slipstream is, Weston could probably just say, off you go, stay with him, use him, right? Because Pollard's going to get through one way or another. That is a given. I mean, no offense to Danny Weston, but Mike Pollard is going to find a way through. He's already doing it now on this run towards turn number 1. So sit with him, let him through, don't put up a fight, don't lose any time. Use him to now close the gap to those ahead, or fight it out and try and hang on to 5th place, which you won't do because there's still so much of the race left to go anyway. Of course, into turn number 1, you can see he's just tucked up with him. So now just use him either to close in on Mike Pierce, who's a little bit further up, or just to get away from everyone else. Either way, it works.
Yeah, either way. To be honest with Danny Weston now, I'd use him. I'd use him to move up. I think that's the thing. I would absolutely use that Pollard, because if anybody's going to follow anybody, it will be Mike Pollard, and I think I would literally use him. Michael Sill trying to recover. He's behind Richard White as they're going down into turn 5 once more. Paddy Faulkner is further back. He's with Andy Jones, of course. These guys pitted. Jones, Faulkner, Manners and Barnes. Jones, Faulkner and Manners all pitted on the same lap. It seems very weird that they've done it so early. Richard White side by side with Seal in turn 8 here, and Seal does make it through. Richard White does manage to hold on, but now he's got the Lumen Stefan Mellis behind him once more. Mellis trying to have a go. 32 minutes on the clock here. Let's see what Stefan Mellis can do. Can he clear Richard White? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Well, if he's going to go for a send, he might as well go from that far back, eh?
He thought about it. If in doubt, flat out. All you've got to do, really, is to say, shout incoming, right? As loud as you possibly can, as that is a huge snap of oversteer. Goodness me, where has he gone? To the Shadow Realm, apparently. And Richard White loses that place straight away to Stefan Mellis. But basically, all you've got to do is shout incoming. And if the driver in front of you doesn't move out the way, then that's their problem for ignoring the warning. That, blimey, fair play. Honestly, fair play. That is quick hands and amazing car control.
Yeah, he did. He did manage to hold on. Chris Evans with Stuart Rice here. Both of these guys in the AMR team. I don't expect much fight in between them as we go into the last 31 minutes on the clock. Pit stops normally, Zach, 10 to 12 minutes time. I really am worried about Andy Jones, Faulkner and Manners. I'm not too sure they're going to make that. I've got to be honest. And Chris Barnes pitted on lap 1. He's definitely going to not make it. He definitely will have to pit again. Stuart Rice trying to go past Chris Evans. I don't think that's going to be a manoeuvre there. I think Rice is just going to hold on to Evans. I think that's probably going to be the best thing for him.
Yeah, I think so. Of course, again, just try use people as best you can to obviously get that better goal. I mean, the more you fight, the worse off you're going to be, because all that's going to happen is they're going to fight together. They're going to reel in Michael Seal, reel in Stefan Mellis, where in reality they could just sit behind each other, work together, be quicker, and obviously see how it goes. If they don't catch, then by all means they can race, because it is for what is that? 1, 2, 3, fourth in the AMS, which is a decent finishing position. So of course these two will want to battle, will want those extra points. But if over the course of the next 5-10 minutes you can at least try and work together to go for a mutual beneficiary position, which could be closing the gap to Stuart Gibbons or even Danny Weston further up, then I don't see any reason why they shouldn't work together. As I say, give it 5-10 minutes, and if it hasn't worked, then battle it out, because you know that there's not really going to be much else for you, so you might as well maximise your time, actively searching for what you can get. But as you can see a little bit further down, Oramet's on the back of
No, it's Williams and Hoff.
Sorry, Williams and Hoff, because what happens is the discoloration on the time tower. I'm just colourblind, all right? It's a long thing, James. I can't see colours. Do you know what? I don't know if I've ever told you this. I wrote half my GCSEs in a green pen, as now Williams might be trying to find his way up into 13th place.
Yeah, he needs to really here. He's got to clear Rachel Hoff and start making his way, or at least attempting to make his way forward as they come into turn 12. These two teammates here. Williams does go through Hoff in that Aston Martin, loses that place to Williams, and now Williams has got to try and do something to get onto the back of Richard White, Mike Pierce and Richard Simnar. Pierce just gone and done the fastest lap of the race. He's got Stein Beeman right behind him with Deck Crowther here trying to chase these guys down. Stuart Rice, Chris Evans, Rob Williams and Hoff, all from the Triple P racing team, have got their own little personal battles going on. Andy Jones slowly catching up to the back of Torno Oromets as well. Jones down in 16th, coming to the pits from second. I'm very much drastically confused about that. I will try and ask some of these drivers after this why that pit stop was necessary and what the situation was. And I tell you what, if they've come out and said they got a penalty for overtaking Stein before the start-finish line, well, that just flat out sucks, I think. But it doesn't seem a long enough stop, to be honest, to get that. I think that's the thing. There doesn't seem to be a hold on stop and hold, which is normally for jumping the start or whatever it may have been, Zach. It doesn't look penalty based, being that their pit stop times, their stop times was only like 4.92 seconds. And Andy Jones, whoa!
What people today just I think Road America is just that difficult of a circuit. It must be, surely.
Well,
look at this going through.
This is, sorry, that's Chris Barnes. I was trying to find where Rachel Hoff just got ceremoniously done. That's the Williams battle. Andy Jones passed Rachel Hoff. I think that was Torno Oromets just kind of sent her off into the shadow realm, but it's a little bit hard. I can't seem to go back quite far enough to see whether or not Hoff broke really early then, and that's why they've ended up going into the back, because it looked like at one point, if it wasn't going to be Torno Oromets, it was definitely going to be Andy Jones. One of them was going to go into the back of her. So I was trying to see where her breaking point was. We just can't get back far enough here. But Mike Pollard battling now with Deck Crowther. Pollard up 15 places here, Zach. The man's a machine, surely.
He is. He's about to make it 16 as well, so not quite, but he's thinking about it on Derek Crowther. In the near future, I can almost guarantee it. A podium's not out of the question. P2's not out of the question. He's only, what is he, 2 seconds off? Yeah, 2 seconds off P2. Pit stops and still over half the race left to go. Pollard could well be up 16, 17, 18 positions by the time he gets to Steinvietman, which would be insane of a run. Also, a little bit further back, we've got Andy Jones under pressure from
he's just
Rob
cleared Williams.
And and Paddy Faulkner in behind. And there we go, the up and under. There's Williams trying to get his way through, get a counter-attack if he can. Inside line for what is turn 3, but not really turn 3, and is actually turn 2. The Mercedes picks his way past, and there is the Aston Martin. Paddy Faulkner just floors his way past.
Faulkner having a go now. It's a straight sprint between a McLaren and Aston Martin. The Aston Martin has come out in front. Williams just did manage to hold on to that position for how long is the question. He's going to leave the door open. You're going to leave the door open. He's going to come through. He's going to open up the steering, and you're going to have nowhere to go. Oh, no. Williams got to slide on. Both men saved it there, fortunately enough, but Williams did get a slide on coming out. There's Ian Manners and Rachel Hoff as well. Hoff's onto the little bit of the rumble strips on the right-hand side. They're going tooth and nail down the back end here, but Williams did get a little bit of a slide on there, and unfortunately for Paddy Faulkner, he was there when Williams tried to come back on track. So that's a bit of a tough one, as Williams then just outbrakes himself going into 8, and that, my dear, is somewhat of an issue.
A little bit, yeah. It does. It does help. Funnily enough, Zach Sweeney Sim Racing 101. Stay on the track and you'll go fast. What? Unless it's rallycross, in which case, probably, you might want to go off track a little bit. But around Road America, stay on the grey stuff. It's quicker. And by the grey stuff, I mean the smooth grey stuff, not the gravel. I'm not very helpful. Don't take any sim racing advice off me, ladies and gentlemen. I think I'm going to be down a Big Mac meal by the time I get my sim rig. And maybe do a one-off race in the Clios or whatever. As into the pit lane come a couple of drivers now.
That's more like it.
Actual pit stop time.
Yeah. Chris Evans, Stuart Rice, that's more like it. Rob Williams is in there, partly just he's just gone straight back to pits. He has just jumped back to pits as Williams, and has probably called it a day, I would have thought, after having a rough evening of it. But Mike Pierce, Mike Pollard, Stein Wiemann, not very far apart, all going to maximise the draft at the moment. Stuart Rice is in, Chris Evans is in, Oromets is in, and obviously, as we know, Williams is also into the pits there as well. This is where they start closing up now. 23 minutes on the clock. Simnor out in front by 8 seconds. He literally can, get out of his car and have a cup of tea. He's that far ahead.
Yeah, that is true. Fair play. It's like I said in race 1, it's the best way for your race to be. Yes, it's boring. Yes, you're not really fighting for anything or whatever, but it's exactly how you want it to go. To win championships and things, you need these boring races where you just don't get looked at. You're out in your own world. You're not really fussed about anyone else going out on circuit. You are just driving your own race. And fair play to him. I mean, as a driver, I've always preferred to fight for a win. Because I like the thrill of going side by side and things. As soon as I'm dominating a race, if I ever, I honestly just get bored. But obviously in a competitive environment where there are points on offer, then you sort of suck it up and just get on with it to take those points. So Simnor out in front is just chilling, driving, being consistent as well. At this point, he's got everything to lose, nothing to gain. So why push it? Why risk it? Just drive at a pace that's comfortable and sustainable for you. Whether that's 90% or 95% or even 100% of what you're capable of, just drive at that pace and get to the end of this race. Same can't be said in terms of battling and pressure between the two Mikes of Pierce and Pollard, who are fighting for third as it stands, and also trying to find their way into contention with Stein Wiemann as well. So while one of the AI cars is out chilling out in front, the other 3 are in a hard-fought fight for second.
Yeah, we've lost Williams, we've lost Barnes, and we've lost Weston. What did Barnes put himself up to here? Oh, as Pollard has gone up the inside there. He has made that pass over Pierce, and Pollard now jumps him. Oh, Chris Barnes, what did you do here? Surely he didn't do anything on that start-finish straight. He can't have done. Oh, no. Very strange.
Well, it's been a strange evening, to be fair. It's been something.
I'm going on an investigation.
Oh, here we go.
I'll be back.
All right.
Well, I'm not going anywhere, but I'm reaching out, shall we say?
Oh, all I can think about is Sweet Caroline. Sorry. Anyway, yeah, sorry. Again, my brain works in weird and wonderful ways. What do you mean?
Sometimes I wonder, Mr. Sweeney.
What, if I'm actually real?
No, I know that one.
You sure?
What are you, AI?
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, okay.
I wish, to be fair. I mean, they're top 4 in this race, so...
This is also true. Paddy Faulkner trying to get on to the back end of Andy Jones here with Mike Pollard now opening up the second gap. Race is getting a bit spread and thin here. Are you sick, JPB? No, I'm not sick. Why did you ask that, Austin? Alan Luff, doorbell. What? For Barnes? Doorbell rang. I'd have ignored that one. Faulkner and Jones... Maybe, unless he obviously got another Craig Jones moment where he got attacked by a wasp.
Oh, that is true.
Did you ever think about that one?
Well, I don't really think about Craig Jones. He doesn't really pop into my mind very often.
No, me neither. He did ring me this morning. Was it this morning or yesterday? I don't know. Very interesting there as well. Right, anyway, back to the racing because we've still got 19 minutes remaining here. We've got Paddy Faulkner having a scrap or trying to have a scrap with Andy Jones. We've got Pollard now set the fastest lap of the race on a 2:15.9. But don't forget, they are coming to the end of this stint. All of these guys from about Richard White onwards will have to do another stop. I've also got a funny feeling Andy Jones and Paddy Faulkner are also going to have to do another stop here. I don't think they're going to get to the end of pitting on lap 3. I'm not going to lie. But for Stein Beeman, he has got Mike Pollard closing. Pollard with the fastest lap of the race. That gap to Simnar has come down half a second as well, Zach. So it's going to be close in these last 19 minutes.
I hope so. Because, yeah, we've still got just under half the race left to go and plenty of action still to hopefully keep us occupied. So, yeah, bring it on in this fight for second. Pollard, actually, in fairness, that last lap quicker than anyone and quicker than even Simnor. So that's telling of some good pace. So if I was Stein Veeman, I'd be pushing, trying to find some form of way to counter that and to sort of stake my claim. In fairness, to be fair, I mean, the gap between the two of them was only like a couple hundredths of a second anyway, negligible stuff. But there was still a difference. So Veeman, he's got to be thinking, surely looking in his rearview mirror.
Yeah, he definitely has. He definitely has. Pollard's up 17 places. Now, if you want to do the math on that one, 17, he's into third, he started 20th. So he was right, literally dead smack last here was Mike Pollard. And with 18 minutes to go, he is now sitting in third on track. He's doing an absolutely stellar job, pressurising Stein Veeman bit by bit here. He's trying to get him. He's going to look at Commons. Surely it's got to be out of 14. Pollard's carried a lot more speed in 13A. Veeman's on the brakes now as well. Is this going to be it, or am I going to see two people dive into the pit? Stein Veeman, I think, could be one of them. He's not. He's on the defensive. He is trying to defend at the moment from Pollard. It doesn't look like he put up much of a defence. I think that was Stein Veeman more likely to be letting him through.
Yeah, I'd imagine so. Whether he's going to launch a counter-attack or anything is another story. But another fast lap from Mike Pollard. That is good stuff. The pace is there for sure. 2:15, 6:12.
Zach, second out of Simnor last time round.
Yeah, but can he hold that?
Well,
is that sustainable? I mean, for Simnor, surely he's got some in the tank. Like, if Pollard gets to 6.5 seconds and continues to close a second, surely Simnor's just going to go, you know what, I'm just going to put my foot down a little bit.
Yeah,
do you not think?
Maybe there's a rush into the pits. Crowther's in, Weston's in, Mellis is in, Gibbons is in, White's in, and Faulkner's in. Told you Faulkner ain't going to get to the end again after going in lap 3. And if he's not going to get to the end either, that means Andy Jones is not going to get to the end, and neither is Ian Manners. So I think from Paddy Faulkner, that is kind of a right move here before they run out of fuel, and that ain't going to be good for anyone. Pollard still trying to close that gap over Simnar. You can see the lap times from Pollard last time out with Simnar. Simnar was slower on 9, 10, 11 and 12, and out of all that he's pulled nearly 2.6 seconds out of Richard Simnar has Mike Pollard. So Pollard doing an absolutely stellar job here. Does he have enough in the tank though with pit stops coming, Zach? That's the problem. He's pushed quite a lot as Mike Pollard. Doubt he did any fuel saving, doubt he did any fuel management as well. He just would have been full throttle to the floor and going for it. So where is that going to put him in conjunction with pit stops now? Because he's still faster than Pollard, Simnor, and he was a second faster last time out. But surely they're coming into that time now. Well, these Porsches haven't got much left in that tank, mate. They are literally going to be running on fumes within the next lap and a half. So it's going to be a tough one for these guys, I think.
Yeah, 100%. But he's essentially only going to be putting like 15 minutes of fuel in, as we'll find out now, I suppose. We'll get our answer. In comes Simnor, Pollard, and Veman. Let's see if Pierce is in. He is. So all four of them out in front in. But you're not putting that much fuel back in, and for Pollard, he's probably got enough pace to compensate for it anyway. There is Michael Seal as well. Let's see if he finds his way into pit lane, which you'd imagine he is. Yes, he does. The final of those that have made their stop. So let's see, obviously, relative to the rest of the field, how big the gap is. Stein Veman does get himself ahead of Pollard, but because he's continuing down pit lane. Let's see the pit stop time for Pollard. He's still stationary, and eventually at some point that time is going to stop ticking. In comes Jones as well. 17:02 for Pollard. Let's see what Veman is.
Simnor's only just on his way out. No.
16.6.
Yeah, Simnor's only just out. Veman's not moved yet. Pollard there as well. That gap is going to come down, I think, from Mike Pollard to Richard Simnor. Let's see, when they get up and running it up to speed, it was about 7.2 when they went in. Where are we at the moment in conjunction with times? Andy Jones is in and Ian Manners is in, so they definitely did not make it to the end. These guys taking that fuel right at the beginning. I will try and find that one out, because that was very, very confusing as to why they went in so early for Manners and also Jones. But yeah, Pollard under 7 seconds. He's pulled about 4/10 out of him in the pit stop. He went in with about a 7.2 gap, give or take.
Yeah, so while Simnor's stationary time was a half second quicker, a 16.6 as opposed to a 17 dead in terms of time spent actually stopped in the pits, coming in and going out for Pollard must have been that, that little bit quicker. He must have broke later going into the pit lane. He must have stopped on his box a little bit more effectively. He must have disengaged the pit limit ever so slightly. All those small things that add up, as I said before, sort of as the broadcast was starting, it's those small things that can and will make a difference. It's not made a huge dent into Simnor, only a half a second or so, which, it does help, but I don't really think there's too much time left in this race for that to happen, for Pollard to really mount a challenge to Simnor. But I don't think you can blame Simnor. Again, the penalty for speeding in the pit lane is a stop go 30. The reward for braking later is 0.3 of a second. So obviously you've got, 100 times difference in terms of the risk and the reward. So not really worth it, especially when you're leading by 7 seconds. It's better to just be on the cautious side, the safe side, and stay in control.
Gap's down now to 6.4, 6.8 at one point. Look at it just coming down. Pollard is on a bit of a mission here. He's trying to get hold of Simnor, whether or not he can within the next 12 minutes. We're going to see here, but what about Paddy Faulkner? It was the case that Jones, Faulkner and Manners did have to go in. There was no way they were going to make that. So they did have to go into the pits again. So that's their 2 stops for them, guys. That was always going to be the case, so we'll try and get hold of these guys after they finish and try and find out why that stop took place. But Paddy Faulkner trying to climb and get past Richard White in that Merc, Faulkner in the Aston Martin. Here we go once more, down this start-finish straight they go. Is this going to be Faulkner's place going down into turn 1, Zach? Surely it's got to be.
Yeah, let's have a look. He's close. He's practically pushing. He pulls out to the right-hand side. Does Paddy Faulkner. He's going to have to be a little bit brave on the brakes, but obviously utilising as much slingshot as he can. He pulls himself alongside, is 4 wheels alongside, brakes later, takes the apex, and takes 11th place. Nicely done from Paddy Faulkner, who definitely showcasing his talent, definitely showcasing the pace that he's got. Down 1 place from where he started, but has been able to pick up the pieces a little bit. Considering he's on a 2-stop as well, to be only half a second off the top 10 isn't too bad.
Awesome stuff Well, 11 minutes on the clock for Faulkner. It's good to see that he's not getting involved in so many ta-ta-tas this week at the moment. There was various incidents we've seen Paddy Faulkner get into, Zach, not just in GT4s, but also in TCRs. You know, there was a little bit of a mission here as well. I want to shout out, where are you at the moment, Mr. Crowther? Right, Derek Crowther. For the first time in a couple of years, Mr. Crowther has taken the plunge to drive in VR. Okay, so he also did state to me that if at any point he goes off or has an incident, it's all because he's in VR this evening. So big shout out to Derek Crowther, who's driving in VR for the very first time for a couple of years, and basically he's blaming everything on that. So I can guarantee that when he comes off this tonight, he will blame the fact that he's in VR as to why he didn't do too well.
He's a racing driver. Any excuse, right? I've probably said this loads of time on a broadcast before, but at my local karting track, they have the car track Kramer list of excuses, which is my wheels were loose, my visor was in the way, the helicopter over the track was distracting me, I was too heavy, my steering wheel was wrong, and they just have a list of racing driver excuses that are like huge lists long, which I love. And you know, racing drivers will use them all. They will go through all of them and still somehow be able to find some more. Into the pit lane comes Stuart Gibbons, which is strange. Was he someone that came in earlier on, potentially? Alan Jones, by the way, Andy Jones, I should say, is trying to find his way up past in this fight with Richard White. Does exactly that. That McLaren 570S got a little bit of a leg on the straight. You can also see just ahead Paddy Faulkner going for P9 ahead of Stefan Mellis, the Belgian, trying to go the long way round, but Paddy Faulkner just holds firm on the inside and takes that position away quite nicely.
Job done there as well. Austin, I'm glad you sorted that out. You sounded a little bit stuffy, James. No, I'm all right. I'm all good. Not got my man flu. I got over me man flu a while back. So that was good. I called it off Zach down the microphone. He gave it to me. It was dreadful. So Toto Ormets and Richard White, Andy Jones. Jones is trying to move through the field, I think, at the same pace as Faulkner. I think that's one of the things for Jones that he's got to be looking at doing. He's got to try and move through, because if he doesn't move through here as well, you know, Andy Jones is sitting in 10th at the moment. Faulkner is in 6th, and currently Faulkner's on 256, Jones is on 214. So he's already losing places to him. Jones is down 7, Faulkner's up 1. So there obviously is going to be an offset against race 1 to what they've done in race 2, right? But I think for Andy Jones, he's just got to try and clear as many as possible in that McLaren, you know. I think that's the thing. He's in the car, he picked the car, he's just got to go for it, surely. You know, that's the only GT4 I own is the McLaren, and I've never driven it in my life, to be blatantly honest with you, but people are telling me it's the best one to be in. I don't know, to be fair, but considering what Richard Sumner is doing in the Porsche, maybe I'm sitting back thinking I picked the wrong car.
Maybe. Car choice is a big thing, of course.
Yeah.
Because the thing with iRacing, right, is there's no trial, there's no, try this car. It's spend 15 quid, if you don't like it, then tough.
Yeah. And that's the thing. That reminds me of a thing I had today. I'm just going to watch Andy Jones go past Stefan Mellis, and I'll tell you what I had today as well, along that line. So you can see what I mean. Stefan Mellis now, surely this isn't going to be much of a fight. He's Andy Jones. He's a pro. You're an am. It's probably easier to let him go. I'm not saying that you're not deserving to fight Stefan Mellis, but I think at times, as you are alongside Andy Jones, he's just squeezing you a little bit here as well. And Andy Jones does make it through over Stefan Mellis, and a great job from him. Torner Oromets is sitting behind Mellis at the moment. They're battling away. Oromets carrying more speed than Mellis. Going into turn 3, gets himself all a little bit strung up. Does Oromets there, and unfortunately does lose a little bit of time here, but it's tough for Oromets. He's got to try and get past Mellis. So going back to what I did today, guy rang me up. Your dishwasher insurance. I said, yeah, what about it? We cancelled it. We don't use it. He said, yeah, but what happens if it breaks? I said, well, I'll buy a new one. He said, okay. I said, the thing is with that is you're going to give me 3 years insurance that I might pay for and nothing happens over 3 years, and then all of a sudden you're not going to turn around and say, right, you can have your money back now because you haven't used it, are you? He said, well, no. I said, well, how about you offer me 50% of my money back and I'll carry on with it? He said, no. I said, I'll tell you what then, just leave it. Because what's the point? What is the actual point? You know, if you're going to use something, they should at least offer you your money back if you don't use it. You know what I mean? That's like, I don't know.
No, because
it's ridiculous.
That's not the point, no, because it's an insurance. It's like paying for your car insurance. It's
right, but
like,
it's still ridiculous.
You don't get your car insurance money back if you never have a crash in your life, because you still pay it, because you still need it.
All right, so what about this then? If I was, if I cancelled my car insurance, carried on driving my car and I had a car accident, I turn around to the guy and go, look, I'm not insured, mate, because I don't see the point of it. I've got the money, I'll just go and buy you a new car.
Because what if you crash into a Ferrari?
What about it?
Ferrari, ain't you?
You're only ever going to go crash in the road if you're stupid.
I'm just saying, if JP Broadcasting is getting enough money to be able to uninsured crash into a Ferrari, then you know I need my paycheck up in, right? Because if you're doing that well, mate, then I want a slice of the pie. I want to be able to crash into a Ferrari uninsured.
I like to point out as well, you're actually more on than your actual age, so you might not want to push it currently as well.
I'm on double what I make at work.
Exactly, so you're on more than the British minimum wage for your age, so you might want to not...
I want to crash into a Ferrari.
Yeah, but you might not want to push the paid thing because, you know, I could drop you down to the minimum wage for your age if you really wish to. So you might want to just shh a little bit as we're going into the last 4 minutes.
This, ladies and gentlemen, is why you don't ask your boss for a pay raise.
Yes.
It doesn't work.
No, not at your age. It does not, young sir. Especially when you're on more than the national minimum wage for your age. So at that specific moment, I would probably cut that conversation off. Do you know what, Zach? I do end up love commentating alongside you, but considering there's a massive age group here, I do end up chuckling most of the broadcast. In fact, I completely lost myself last night. I was crying as we're looking at Toro Oromets and Stefan Mellis fighting out. Risk and reward insurance. Car insurance is mainly to cover someone getting injured that can get into the million. Yeah, I know that, Alan, but I don't know, things like, you know, home insurance or, you know, white good insurance just is pointless. Just go and buy another one. And the thing is as well, the machines ain't even built like they were in the old days. So like, you know, my nan had a washing machine that was about 30 years old. My washing machine don't even last me 3 years, let alone 5 years. You know what I mean? It's never going to last me as long as that. They don't build them to last because they can't. If you build them to last, then how are you going to buy a new one? You know what I mean? It's like illnesses. They're never going to find a cure because if they find a cure, they go out of business. It's fairly straightforward. That multi-billion industry in searching illnesses, if they find a cure, they're going to go out of business. That's why they're never going to find a cure.
Middle-aged man.
No. Zach, you'll realise that as you get older, your blinkers come off and you see the world for what it actually is, which is just one big money-making scheme from companies that are never going to find a cure. So there we go. Multi-billion pound industry, they're never going to find a cure. Toro Oromets has dived in once more, one here as well. Stuart Rice under attack from Paddy Faulkner going across the line with 2.5 minutes. We're going to have one more lap here. It will be the final lap this time around. Well done, Stuart Rice. To be honest, mate, I would have done the same. There's no point battling Andy Jones and Paddy Faulkner. It's not going to get you 12 seconds up the road to Chris Evans. So a fair play for you, mate. I've got to give you props for that. Well done. Excellent driving. Good thought out. Now we can get into the battle of Jones and Faulkner. This is the one that's going to matter here. This is the position swap. This is for 5th and 6th in class as these guys start going under the bridge down into the marine suite we go. Jones is on the grass there as well. He's got to be a little bit careful. Surely he's going to be ducking up the inside. It's either that or he's going to give Faulkner a little bit of a love tap. He pulls out now. Jones in the McLaren into turn 5. Faulkner in the Aston Martin. He's got open it up. Open it up. He's giving you the room. For Andy Jones there. Can open it up, take the racing line, and he is going to go through. Paddy gave him a bucket load of room there, mate. He could have opened that up a lot more in that McLaren.
Oh, yeah. And fair play for him to just say, yeah, sort of just to accept it because, again, risk versus reward, he's got all the opportunities to launch a counter-attack, right? If he wants it, right? He's still got one more opportunity going into turn number 1. which is where moves are made. The slipstream is so prevalent, so just let it happen. Put yourself in a position where you can go for the move on the final lap, because if you do it on the final lap, guess what? There's no more laps for the car that you've just overtaken to actually get back in front of you. So wait, bide your time, capitalise on the final lap. He's in no rush. There's 13 seconds up to Christopher Evans. Neither of these two are going to be able to catch that gap, I can tell you that for free. So bide your time, wait. I mean, fair enough, you've got Stuart Rice behind you, but chances are he's not going to be too interested in getting involved in a pro fight. So sit back, relax, wait for that pit straight, wait for that fight from turn 3 to 5, and you could very easily just find yourself picking your way through nicely.
Yeah, I agree. I think for Faulkner, that's probably what he's going to be doing here. He's just going to wait. He's either going to get the run out of 14 down through into 1, or he's just not here. But it really does depend on what Andy Jones is. To be honest, what Jonesy does, if he sits back and lets him go through and then looks at getting him down into 5, it's going to be a very risky move. Jones needs to hang on. Faulkner's on the lights there as well. Get off your lights, Paddy. That's no good, dear sir. Coming down now. Just go and pass him. If you're going to pass him, get past him because you're quicker. Get off your lights. That drives me absolutely crazy. Flashing there as well, Paddy Faulkner. But yeah, this is Faulkner's last opportunity. Here's the final lap. Simnon's on his way round turn 8. We will pick up on him very, very shortly here, guys, once more as he's looking when he comes round into turn 14. But he's done an absolutely stellar job. Gaps down to 3.8. Pollard just didn't quite have enough in the tank there. What about Faulkner? Is he going to have enough? I don't think he's going to have enough. I think that's more of a flashing of appreciation now rather than trying to put off Andy Jones, who's in that McLaren. Jones is too wise to that one. I don't think he's going to worry about Faulkner having a little bit of a flash behind him. What about Oromets and also Rachel Hoff? Oromets is a long way down for his championship position here, Zaki. You know, being all the way down this far away, and in the AM standings, he's sitting in 4th at the moment, behind Weston, behind Mikey Pierce, and behind Chris Barnes. So, and unfortunately for them, Mike Pierce, Danny Weston, and the only one he is going to finish ahead of is Chris Barnes, as the leader is now coming up to the very final part of this stage. The man who's going to make it 8 in a row. Richardson does the double. He's done the double here as well. Pollard did manage to claw his way up 18 places into 2nd, with Stein Wieman in 3rd there. In the arms, it's going to be, will it be Michael Seal or will it be Danny Weston? Well, I think for this time around, it's going to be Mikey Pierce. Pierce is going to make it through here with Weston in 2nd place. Who's going to finish in 3rd? It's going to be Evans. Great job by him as well. Andy Jones, Paddy Faulkner. Jones did lose that place. He went off the side of the circuit. Oh, he missed it in 12. That's not a good move, is it?
Not really. Does help to not do that. But I suppose it made Paddy Faulkner's life a little bit easier. But still a top 10 for Jones. So not bad. Not bad.
Rachel Hoff and Torno Oromets are having a great battle, and then Hoff just cooks it into 12, into the barrier. Oromets says thank you very much there, and goes through. Crowther with his first journey out in VR. We'll find out how that was for him as well. But he's done a great job coming over the line, and then Torno Oromets not far behind him, with Rachel Hoff limping her way in 16th place. Is she going to make it? That's going to be the question. What's she steering up to? There's a bit of damage on that car, I would say, because every time it goes to accelerate to a certain degree, the steering wheel glitches. So I think it's probably got damage there for Rachel Hoff, but great job, manages to get it over the line. And let's bring you up the results here from race 2, the final race of the evening. And it is Richard Simner, an 8-race winner, double, out in front and takes the victory again. Mike Pollard in 2nd and Stein Wieman in 3rd. That is your free pro podium. Mike Pierce in 4th, Danny Weston there in 5th, Michael Seal, Chris Evans, Weston and Pierce is your AM podium, and a good fight from them guys. Paddy Faulkner down in 8th with Andy Jones 9th. Stuart Rice in 10th and Stefan Mellis down in 11th. Ian Manners in 12th. Richard White 13th. Deck Crowther 14th. And then you got Torno Oromets and Rachel Hoff, the last of the runners. And then you go into Stuart Gibbons, Rob Williams, Chris Barnes and Tom Weston. So let's see if we can have a chat. Who actually do I want? I want Manners because I want to find out what that pit stop was for. Who else should we have a chat with? Let's have a chat with Deck because I'll find out how his thing was. How his journey out in VR. So let's see if we can get some guys in for a chat very, very shortly. Not a bad end to the evening. Another interesting race as well, I think, for these guys, Zach. You know, it kind of all settled down a little bit after the pit stops and the backwards and forwards and stuff like that. You know, there was Pollard who was trying to close down on Simnar. Vinman was trying to get through as well. It was all very up and down from them guys. So it was a big old mix of racing here tonight.
Yeah, it was. There was ups, there was downs, there was backwards, forwards, and all the way around as well for some. And that was, I suppose, to be expected. Road America, it's a tough circuit, and it will chew you up and it will spit you out. And it does promote good racing, but you know it can bite you in the backside, as I say. So always having to have that air of caution is vital. Some people got the worst end of the luck today. One of those people was definitely not Richard Simnar. He was incredible this evening, as he has been for the last 3 weeks. But yeah, fair play to him, and yeah, successful round, I'd say. We had some good battles.
Yeah, we definitely did here as well. Now, going back to Chris Barnes for his pit stop at the beginning, he did get a black flag for passing under yellow. So let me see if he will come and have a chat with me as well, and I'll see if I can have a quick chat. I would like a chat with this young man to find out what the situation was right at the beginning there. Ian Manners, welcome in, dear sir. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. I believe somebody went off the track, yeah, and then we all went past him.
Yes, but you can thank your Mike Pierce and Stein Veman for having contact under the pace car.
Yes. We have thanked them, don't worry.
I can imagine you have there. That kind of threw the spanner right into the works in your feature race early on like that.
Yes. There was not much to do after that. It was just to circulate. It was the pace was all right at the start. We just went as long as we went. Took the penalty and then come back out and carried on driving.
Yeah, well, you know, you did a stellar job trying to get yourself up through the field. Unfortunately, you lost 4 places down into 12th there as well. New announcement of the new season's come out today as well. What's the chances of us seeing you next season?
I'll be doing GT4's first time this season for fully. I usually do TCRs. So I like the leagues. Gives me a chance to practice the car without any silliness with that IR, and it's nice to drive against the same people. You get to see how it all goes. You get to learn the drivers, and no, I enjoy it. No, I intend to be back next season.
Awesome stuff. Well, Ian, thank you so much for joining us. Cheers for clearing up that beginning. Anyone you wish to shout out before I let you go?
I would shout out to my teammates, but I don't think I'll bother.
Yeah, probably half the field, Ian, who don't get a shout out your teammates.
Yes, yeah. But other than that, yeah. And thanks to you guys for doing the interviews. Excellent job. Really enjoying myself.
Awesome stuff, Ian. Well, thank you so much for joining us there, bud. And I look forward to catching up with you next week as it nearly comes to an end.
Yes. I'm looking forward to it as well.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Right, now what we are going to do, I'm going to try something now. I'm going to probably risk it for a chocolate biscuit right about now, because I want to talk to Mike Pierce first, partly because Mike Pierce affected one of the other drivers that are in the interview. So let's have a chat with Mike Pierce first. Mike, what was the situation on the start with you and Stein Wieman?
He chopped my nose off, really. He sort of came across me. I broke. And in all honesty, on my screen, we didn't actually touch, but then I saw him like ping off and then I got the 0x. And so that was that, really. There wasn't much else to it.
Team tactics. Oh, shit.
That aggressive, but yeah, there we go.
Yeah, now that kind of affected Mr. Faulkner's race, I believe. Paddy, did you get a black flag for that?
I'm trying to think how many people didn't get a black flag in all of that. We did suggest that maybe some team tactics going on here, but no, there wasn't. No, but no, I think the seeing Stein go off the side of the road and it's like yellow flag, like, well, can we go past him? We're all accelerating out the corner, and yeah, I don't know. It turned out I only had a 1 second penalty, I think. Who is it that pitted first? That
was you, Ian, Andy, and Chris Barnes.
Chris Barnes, he pitted on the first lap, so he would have had the full 24 seconds.
Yeah, his pit stop was a long time.
We got only like a second. I don't know whether Stein had caught us up, so the time gap was shrunken, or I don't know, whatever. But no, we only ended up with like a 1 second quick stop and go. That was it. It was quite lucky, actually.
Yeah, because that's normally like 20, 25 seconds, if not more, isn't it, when you're normally passing under the beginning. But we did discuss this in the broadcast. It did come into effect that we wasn't quite sure how that was supposed to play out, because is everybody then supposed to brake and allow him to come back through? Or because you, as you say, you were under full throttle. It's not like all of a sudden you can go half throttle, guys, and then allow Stein to come through, is it? It was a difficult one, because otherwise you're going to lose places to everybody else.
Well, that's it. If you look from my point of view, I had a car to the left and a car to the right. I was stuck right in the middle, and I was like, we'll keep going. But I think ultimately, by the rules of iRacing, we were supposed to have stopped and let him go past. But I thought if he, on the entry of on a formation lap, if a driver drops it, then that's them putting himself out the race. It's a weird one. It might be something that we need to look into. That one.
The thing that probably needs to happen is me and Stein not playing silly buggers into the last turn. But...
Well, that probably, Mike, to be honest, that could be a situation, because, you know, even Ian said I would thank my teammates, but they didn't do him any favours, because he got to stop and go as well. So, you know, if there's any time, Mike, to put out an apology announcement, now might be it. Just as a hint.
Yeah, I think Stein should say sorry.
I'm not too concerned. I feel bad for everyone who was in the incident, obviously. But I don't think I did anything wrong there. Stein chopped my nose off when he should have been holding the left lane. I tried to avoid him and it didn't work. So I do apologise for the people who lost out, but I'm unfortunately not going to take too much blame on that.
All right, Mike, that's fair enough. You know what I mean? If it was all Stein's fault, we could blame Stein. It's fine. You know, so thank you very much, you two. I will finish off with Richard, who's just wrapped 8 victories in a row. And to be honest with you, I think that's probably wrapped up the pro driver standings as well. I don't necessarily think Mikey's going to be able to catch you, Richard, but welcome in here as well. How are you, dear sir?
Yeah, really well, thanks. Yeah, it was a bit unfortunate for Mikey tonight. I think we knew the first race was going to be really difficult because we're all pretty much the same pace in practice. Stein did a great job getting Quali, snatched it from me. Just had the tiniest of drafts, maybe, I don't know. Yeah, really, really interesting. I sort of spent the sort of first lap had a bit of defending to do from Mikey. He had a bit of a go down at T5, which I knew he would, you know, from his point of view, he's got to. And then when I caught Stein was getting a bit loose. Yeah, really just got the run. Really fought for the inside of that corner, and I made it work. And then I think what happened behind, I was actually quite lucky not to get caught in that. I think Stein had clipped my rear because I felt my wheel get nudged a little bit. But for me, it was a small nudge. But for Mike and Stein, they had a bit of iRacing glue there, and then of course what happened at the next corner happened. I don't know who to really apportion sort of blame to that. I think it was just hard racing from the guys. They just did a really, they both wanted to get second, and if it got second, they knew that they could chase me down for first. So I think I was very lucky there. And then in the feature, just timed the start right. Obviously, I didn't even know that it was Piercy behind me at turn 1. I thought, I was like, oh, that's a bit of a gap to Stein. That's fine. And then I looked down at my relative, and I said to the guys, I was like, where's Stein, guys? Where's he gone? It just disappeared. But I think just to sort of finish off, really, just I think the biggest credit you've got to give tonight is to Mikey Pollard on his feature race, because he just went for it and did as much as he could do to try and catch me. And even though there was a little bit of playing it safe at the front, I realised I had to then start putting the foot down a bit. So yeah, coming from, what was it, 20th place to second.
He was up 18. Yeah, he pulled out about 4.5 seconds over you in the pit stops. But we have got Stein in the booth now. Stein has come in to defend himself frantically about that pace car incident. Stein, welcome in, dear sir. How are you?
I feel like everyone's talking about me right now. I feel
well, the problem is that incident then gave penalties to other people behind Stein. So it's a little bit difficult not to talk about you and Mikey, because, the whole of the AI race summaries is in, and the only one I haven't got is Andy Jones, Mikey Potter. I'll tell you what, let's bring Andy in for a chat while we're here as well, because Andy also got affected by that incident between you and Mike Pierce. It was a little bit of a rough one for everyone there, Stein, but tell us your perspective. Mikey says you cut his nose off. What is it from your side?
Well, I mean, on Andy, I probably got him twice this week. So, I also took him out in the first race. So, yeah, that's great. Yeah, this week is not something to speak of for me. I don't even know how to defend myself, because there is no defending.
I think we need some harsh penalties.
Hold on a minute here, boys. He's ducked out of that question right at the beginning there. Stein, did you or did you not cut off Mike Pierce's nose going round that final corner?
Yeah, I did. I thought I was clear going into the corner, but it was really aggressive. And yeah, shit happens.
Shame. No, it does not happen on the broadcast, Stein. You can apologise.
Sorry.
Jesus
sorry.
What? This is what happens when you get a group of boys together. Andy, from your point of view, didn't do you any favours, mate. You were up in second at that point, and then you ended up in the pits.
I think it's really Simner's fault from the really slow start.
Hold on. No, he bolted at turn 14. He left you lot strung up twice in a row there. So I'm very debating whether or not it's Simner's fault. I'm more debating about the fact that, yes, he went as soon as he went round the corner, which, to be honest, anyone would have done in the lead. But, there was a bit of a team calamity in also race 1. With Mike and obviously Stein having a go at each other as well. It was a bit of a rough night for the AI race summaries guys tonight.
I think from now on, you cannot say that we don't race each other anymore. I think that's been proven.
Well, yeah, but taking each other out is probably not the best way to prove that.
It works.
I don't know about who's the team leader? Who's the team leader?
Oh, that's don't be silly. No, it's Mr. Simner, and he knows it.
Well,
actually, Andy and Richard founded DCW when it all began. I can imagine. So technically, I think they both have equal kind of leadership. Andy kind of just goes meh, and Richard just goes okay, double meh. But no,
so they're leading by example. Then, to be fair, there, Paddy.
Well, yeah, because actual fact, the last lap, Andy had 15 instant points. So there was talk of, do I give him a little cheeky punt? And DQ him out of the race. But no, he managed to screw it up himself. So
yeah,
I was all right with that one.
All right, guys. Well,
I think I've had enough incidents in the past couple of JP leagues, haven't I, sir?
Yeah, you got yourself into a bit of a mix there, Paddy. I'm not going to lie. But, at least you managed to overtake cleanly this evening. So I'm proud of you for that one, mate.
Oh, no, I did take someone out, though. I took out Melis.
You did, and you had a run-in with Torno Oromets on lap 2 in race 1 as well. So,
Yes. There was some trading paint going on. Should we call that?
Yeah.
I guess you guys have plenty to look at on the broadcast, I assume.
We did, and there was plenty of discussions, especially about that beginning, because we did discuss how is that going to work, because technically you passed before the line, and then we found out because 4 of them had to go in there. So well done to all of you guys there as well for putting 4 people in the pits right at the beginning. But Stein, just next time, double back, single, double lines. That would probably help on a start of this one, mate, on a rolling start.
What's that?
Stay
in the words, don't do it again, you muppet.
Yes, that was pretty much where I was going with that. Or just stay in 2 lines, Stein. That might help you.
Oh, yeah. So take out half the team on lap 1. Shooting. Will do.
Yep, that works. Right, let's see. Leader, where are you? Where is he? Richard Simnar. Anyone you want to shout out for the team? Because if I ask everybody, I'm going to be here all night.
Yeah, let's shout out Mikey because he's not here to defend himself. But no, really, seriously, great job by him, and he's raced an excellent season. And it's just a shame it's. Now he's here, so I can't shout him out. So I'm going to shout out my cats again.
Can I maybe drive for today then?
No, Andy's driver of the day. We've already written that every week.
Well, Mikey, I think we've got to give Mikey driver of the day for the feature because Mikey, you are here, buddy. Up 18 places. Great job from you.
Hey.
Thanks, buddy. Yeah, that was good fun starting from the back, to be honest. I would have preferred not to, in all fairness. Just to say that, Stein, thank you. But I did enjoy it. But then, Stein, did me a favour by giving half the grid that penalty. So I didn't have to overtake as many as I would have otherwise to get to second. So it is what it is, James.
Team tactics, that's what it was.
Yeah, that's exactly what was discussed in YouTube chat as well. They were exactly like, that's team tactics, that is. You know what I mean? So the conspiracy's already started, Mike and Stein, before we'd even gone anywhere. But look, guys, it's been...
if we could orchestrate something as complicated as that, mate, we probably would be doing something else, not playing iRacing.
Well, this is also true, bud. I'm not going to lie. And if you can, give me the lottery numbers for next week, because clearly you know something that I don't. But guys, it's been a pleasure, as it always is done, to have a chat with all of you. Thank you so much for coming in, and we look forward to catching up with you next week.
Peace.
Thank you very much.
Nice one. Cheers, mate.
Bye.
Cheers.
Right, as we slowly kick out all of the AI race summary boys here as well, slowly offloading them. Right, let's get back to Mr. Sweeney. Zach, welcome in.
Oh, hello. Good morning. Yeah.
Sorry, they talk a lot, Zach. We can't help it. But listen, there you go. So that's what happened. They got a penalty at the beginning because of that Stein incident. Not quite sure what they were supposed to do, to be fair, Zach. Should they have all checked up and allowed him to come back through? Surely that was going to cause more chaos than we already had.
Yeah. If you just suddenly have everyone slam on the brakes because one person has gone off, then you're just going to have problems. It's better just let it be, continue on, take the penalty. Sometimes bad luck happens. It all depends on how iRacing feels. I think everyone did the right thing, which was just carry on as normal. There was no need to do anything drastic or change anything. Some people were going to get unlucky, some people didn't. Yeah, just how it happened, unfortunately.
Yeah, absolutely. Well done, guys. Thank you so much. Late again. Well, wait, if you put the notification bell on, mate, you'll get all of them. Trust me, there's a lot more racing coming up on JPB this week as well. We've got 3 broadcasts going out tomorrow, okay? We have got the TSRC GT3s on ACC. That's going out from rounds... Where are they? They're not Brands Hatch. Where are they tomorrow, Zach?
Who?
TSRC.
Watkins,
Glenn.
Yeah, I know. I've been there for a year. I know what I'm talking about.
Exactly. We've got the Evolution Round 5 kicking off from Daytona. That's their hour race. And we've got the Radical Race Series from Brands Hatch, which myself and Ewan. Zach and Dara are doing the TSRC, and Biggles and Steve will be doing the Evolution. So we've got 3 teams working out tomorrow night as well. Thank you so much to everybody that's joined us here as well. It's been an absolute pleasure. Alan, of course, Austin, thank you so much. My boy who's jumped in earlier on. Dan Lewis once more as well. Much appreciated to you. I'm sure Ria's in here. A handsome Stew. Much love to all of you guys as well. And Wait What for jumping in late right at the end there as well. But for now, guys, that's going to wrap it up here this evening for the JPB GT4s. I've been James Parfitt alongside Zach Sweeney, a.k.a. Sween Dog, Sween Puppy, and now Sween Bunny. For now, take care. Have a great week. And you never know, we might see you on the track sometime. Good night.